Hello, everybody. It's Sandra from the Funky Pickle Thrifter. Thank you so much for coming to my What Sold on eBay This Week video. I've been a part-time eBay seller since 1998. I have 3 different eBay IDs, but we only talk about one of them here on this page, the Funky Pickle Store. So let's take a look at what I sold this week and the prices I got and the prices I paid. I also want to mention that we do not offer free shipping, so the buyer is going to be paying shipping on top of the prices you're going to see. And also, I usually add a $1 handling charge to each item. Anyhow, so glad you're along today. Please hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, leave me a comment below, and stick around. So religious stuff sells pretty well for me, and I found this for $3 in a thrift store. It was really a very nice, maybe 1960s, 1970s plastic nightlight. And I only, well, it came with a red bulb in it, so I disclosed in the description, doesn't have to glow red like that. You can put any color you want. But this was a really great nightlight, and it was 12 inches tall, and underneath the clothing, the plastic itself was really nice too. It was like kind of like intricate, and it had been molded in where it had like a design on it as if it was wearing clothing. Anyway, this was in great condition, and so I paid $3 and I sold it for $24.99. I was at an estate sale a couple of days ago, and I picked out a whole huge stack of DVDs that were TV shows. They were all sealed, and they were all like multi-DVD sets. And I put the whole stack in front of her, and she said, give me $5 for all of them. So it averaged out to 25 cents a set. And this was the first one I sold. I just put it up as a buy it now for $11.99. So people really do love their 1980s jewelry, which I'm really happy about because I love the 80s. I had a good time in the 80s. Anyhow, these are some great Edgar Baribi earrings. I'll show you what the signature looks like. So here's a picture of the Baribi sticker, just so you can recognize it if you ever see it. Very colorful enamel earrings. These were possibly Keith Haring, but I wasn't really sure. Anyway, I paid like maybe $1 or $2 for these, and I sold them for $29.99. So these are Keith Haring. Keith Haring was a great pop artist from the 80s, and I think he stopped in the 90s. So it's just that little window. Here's another great pair of 1980s earrings. The same sticker on the back. I got these from the same collection, paid $1 or $2, and sold these for $29.99 also. Great thing to look out for, those bright neon colors, the enamel, that sort of 80s look, really cool items. This was a bad buy. I got this at a yard sale. It was either $20 or $25, which I would never spend unless I was very, very sure that it was something that I was going to be able to make my money on. And I know jewelry really well. My sort of depth of knowledge, I think, goes deeper than most. And I said, look at this, is great, $25. Yeah, because it's sterling. And I'll show you. Yeah, so my eyes play tricks with me. My eyes aren't what they used to be. I thought that said $9.25, and then that it looked like an ING. So of course that says copyright 92 Warner Brothers Inc. But from a distance, when I was just standing there looking at it, I thought it said $9.25. Anyway, it was a mistake, and no big deal. I just put it up, and I thankfully got my money back. But if I even had to sell this for $15, I'd rather have some of my money back than none of my money back. So no big deal. It was really a super, super cute bracelet. I'm glad I sold it, and I'm glad I got my money back. So I was at a thrift store, and they had a whole bunch of it was like in a tin, like in a long tin can. They had a lot of different silverware pieces, and it was on top of this box was included, and it said Swedish silver plate. So anyway, I bought the whole lot. I think it was $3. It may have been $4, but I don't think so. Anyway, when I opened up this box, I could tell right away that these were sterling. And there's the mark right there. It's a company, CGH. I can't remember now what it stands for, but I did look it up. So this was 87 grams of sterling silver. And I just put it up for $34.99. And I can't remember if I did a buy it now or if it was an auction. Anyway, paid $3, and I do have more pieces, like I said, and sold this for $34.99. So I got a lot of Danbury mint jewelry, and I've really had a lot of fun selling it. It doesn't sell for crazy amounts of money, but I paid $1 for this and I sold it for $19.99. It's very beautiful. It's sterling silver, as you can see. And that fake diamond right there, which Danbury Mint has trademarked, Diamondess, it is beautiful. This was actually a very, very beautiful ring. So I don't know if my pictures are really that great, but it had that sort of twisted band with these sort of mocha stones, and it was braided right there a little bit with the clear diamond like. Anyway, beautiful item. So paid $1, sold it for $19.99. And here's another Danbury mint. I still have about 9 or 10 pieces of it. I've already made so much money on it, but I paid $1 or $2 for this one also. One thing I think is really cute is Danbury Mint puts these secret messages on the back, and this one says, I love you. I paid $1 or $2 for this and I sold it for $12.99. So my antique Victorian or Edwardian ring. So when I do auctions on eBay, as I do often, I like to start the bidding at a price where if I only get one bid, I will be able to live with that. This item did only get one bid, and I'm a little bit surprised because I think I had 25 watchers on this. And this is just an incredibly beautiful antique ring that somebody loved and wore for many years. It was like nice and smooth. You know how old gold gets? This was really a stunning 14 karat yellow gold. It was solid gold and a beautiful old garnet, which was a stone, really the gemstone of choice in those times. Anyhow, this was just a beautiful item. And I think I might have paid, it's hard to say because I got it in a big lot, but I would say I paid less than $5 for this one and I sold it for $99.99. So I'm certainly not complaining. That's really great. And I hope the person who gets it wears it for many years and passes it down. It's kind of a nice thing to think about. So in the early 2000s, my mom and I went to an estate sale where they had a crazy collection of clippings, like where somebody had just dedicated their whole life to clipping magazines, newspapers, TV guides, and they kept them all in folders and they were all in alphabetical order. And we made over well over $10,000 on this collection of clippings. So I see today clippings don't really sell for what they did. So we really rode the crest of that wave, which was fantastic. And incidentally, this is kind of interesting, I think. They had a big subset in their collection of obituaries that somebody had really just painstakingly kept all these big celebrities obituaries, and we were selling the obituaries one at a time, and one of them in particular actually sold for $850 for a little square of newspaper. And I think it was William Conrad. I always get him confused with Robert Conrad, the guy who was Canon. That's William Conrad, right? Anyway, yeah, we had Lester Scruggs, and we had like just amazing, like a lot of the Little Rascals, we had their original obituaries, the Three Stooges, a lot of the characters from The Wizard of Oz, and those little obituaries were selling for silly money. Anyhow, I don't know why I still have a box left over now that they're not really worth much, but I had these beautiful Princess Diana and other royalty. So somebody, they were very organized. They kept everything together. They stapled things. And then some things are the whole thing. Like some of these newspapers are whole and the magazines are whole. There was National Enquirers. You can see the Good Housekeepings. And there was a foreign one here, Hello. Yeah, anyway, some of them were intact. Some of them were just clippings, but there was literally hours of enjoyment for somebody here. So I sold these for $14.99. So I didn't pay any money for this. This was outside of a thrift store. They said, take whatever you want. We don't sell children's games in here because we can't guarantee that all the pieces are here. So I picked this up and I sold it for $22.99. It looked like it was actually in mint condition. It actually kind of looked new and unused. You can see it there. It looked like the records were mint actually, but if you know anything about selling records, you're never really supposed to say mint. So anyway, I said they were near mint, but they actually were mint. The same here. I had this vintage board game. It's called Obsession. Look at that great 70s font, right? And this was by a company called Mego. And I got this one for free and I sold it for $22.99 also. In the fall, I went to an estate sale and I bought a lot of stuff. I'm already really in the money from this one sale, like big time, because I had a Beatles reel to reel. And I mean, just all kinds of stuff that I already made my money back many, many times over. But something that I got as part of that lot was like a milk crate full of old photographs. And some of them were these antique cabinet cards, and most of them were cabinet cards of Japanese men. And these are very interesting. These are from the 1800s, I think. And they all had Japanese writing on the back. And I couldn't read what it said. I don't read or write or speak Japanese. I actually went onto some Facebook groups to try to find out, because maybe it said something important on there that I would have liked to have known. Anyway, nobody could help me, so I don't know what they say on the back. But I just sold this one cabinet photo alone for $98.97. I'm not sure why this one more than the others. How interesting is that? What a face, right? And he has bare feet. Anyway, this is great. Yeah, this looks like it's Victorian, right? So what I did with this stack of Japanese cabinet cards is I decided I was just going to put them all up individually, in most cases, for $9.99 starting bid, because I figured the collectors out there are going to know, and they will reach their proper level of what they're supposed to go for. And if I get $9.99 each for each photograph out of a whole stack of photographs, I'm fine with that. So this one was very interesting. As you can see, it looked like a family, I guess. Pretty nice, right? This one didn't have writing on it. And here's another one. A lot of them said Yamagata on the back. This one has the writing too. This is likely all one family, I would guess. And here's another one. This one had a little bit of age wear. That's called rubbing on a photograph. You can see what I mean right there, right? Yeah, just from being in a stack and taken off the stack, there's like a little bit of loss. I absolutely love old photographs. I have a bunch of them. Look at this guy with the glasses. Yeah, that's great. Writing on the back. Super cool. The one photograph I thought was going to sell for a lot was of a guy who was holding a gun, and that's one that didn't sell, which is just sort of weird when that happens. You know, the ones where I go, here's the really special one, this one must be special, and it isn't at all. You know, just shows what I know. But somebody knows. The people out there know for sure. So yeah, look at this. That one's great. Look at that hat. Super cool. So these two I sold together because that's the same person. That's so cool. Very interesting. Anyway, I sold these two for $39, and I do have more too. So I have to put them up, and I think I'll just do the same thing. Just do $9.99 each. And then at the end, I guess I'll just try one more round. And then what doesn't sell after that, I'll just sell as a lot, I guess. So it's hard to say what I paid for these because it was in a milk crate full of old photographs, but I don't know, maybe 10 cents each or something like that. So I love selling fabric, and Moda is a great name brand to always look out for. The other thing you always want to look out for in fabric is quality. You see, this is a little bit thinner than what I usually sell. I sell it a little bit thicker, which is called quilting fabric. But this one had a really charming graphic on it. You can see there, it looks sort of like an antique graphic, and the girl is holding little jack-o'-lanterns behind her back. And this is actually Indigo Junction from Moda, which I have sold many, many times before. This is just a little tiny piece, 1 yard of fabric. I sold this for $10.50. I paid $3 a yard, I think, in a thrift store. But I got a lot of really A-list pieces, which this one is not, but this one is still a nice piece. But I have more of that, and I'm already in the money on that whole lot that I bought too. So cute little piece of fabric. Moda, a great thing to look out for with fabric. So my tablecloth. I don't usually buy crocheted stuff. Yeah, I'm just not an expert on it. And also this had a little bit of like soiling or staining or spotting. I don't know how to take that out. I don't really know much about this stuff, but I know that this was really super beautiful. I know my sister and my grandma used to crochet, and I know this took somebody hours and hours and hours and hours and probably months and weeks of work. So anyway, I bought this for $5 in a thrift store, and I sold it for $39.99. This was really beautiful. Nice, right? So here's a nice little bracelet that was gold filled. That charm in the end is solid 10 karat gold with some beautiful blue enameling on it. I got this recently as part of a lot, and I don't know, it was a couple of dollars, not much. Take a look at the mark. There it is right there, 10 karat gold. So I think I might have started this at $19.99 or something like that. It got 5 bids and I sold it for $31. Probably paid $1 or two, I'm thinking. These earrings are great, aren't they? So I always tell people when you're trying to look for jewelry to sell, there's many, many things to look for. But one is something that looks a little bit different, a little bit quirky, a little bit fun. People definitely like to collect lions and wear lion jewelry. And I thought these were really beautiful. They looked very antique, and they're by a company called 1928. 1928 jewelry is just a great concept for a company because they're making jewelry that's a throwback to the 1920s. And these were just great looking earrings. As you can see, they had beautiful red, I guess that's art glass with gold striations in it. These are pretty awesome. So I got these at a yard sale, an estate sale, actually. A woman had lost her mother-in-law, and her mother-in-law had just a lot of really fabulous jewelry. And I think I paid $1 for these and I sold them for 40. I got this AMT kit at a Savers a few weeks ago. I don't really like selling boy stuff like this too much, you know, so this was something that was sitting in my pile that I knew I had to get to, but I do like Mustangs. Anyhow, I bought this at a Savers. I think I paid $3 for it. The box was opened, but I looked inside and the pieces are all in there and everything is sealed. So anyway, I just put this one up last night. I just did a buy it now for $39.99, and when I woke up this morning, it was sold. So that was kind of a cool item. So I'm not an expert at all on car kits or airplane kits or anything like that. So if I'm in a Savers or a Goodwill, you know, I just take out my phone and I look it up before I buy it. So I looked this one up in the store and I was positive it was going to sell. So that's why I bought it. Here's the last item I sold this week. So I was in a little thrift store and I was looking at their jewelry, and there was a shelf to the side of the jewelry that had 3 little figurines that were just clearly solid silver. There was no question about that. And I said, how much are these little figurines right here? And she said they're $1 each. Anyway, I bought all 3 of them. I still have the bicycle, I think that's left, but I sold a boat. And then this was clearly, like, this one was the best of the 3, that's for sure. But look at that. That's an absolutely incredibly beautiful piece. It was heavy too. It weighed 39 grams, so it had some nice, nice weight to it. And it was just beautiful. You can see right there, it says silver 910. So when it says that number right there, you just put a decimal point. So it's 91% silver. I was determined on this one to hold steady with my $99.99 price because I think it was just so worth it. And somebody reached out the other day and said, I can give you 85. And I said, yeah, that's fine. Anyway, so I paid $1 for this and I sold it for 85. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you found this helpful. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave me a comment and especially hit the subscribe button if you wouldn't mind. It doesn't cost anything to do, and I would be very grateful if you did that. Thank you so much, everybody. We'll see you soon. Have a great day.